Kyron, going back to the season opener, you get to make your first start. What was that experience like for you? Did you have nerves before that, and just what that moment meant to you?
That was a big moment for me. Especially being in the system 3 years and finally getting first start. It was great. I was excited, and it was just great being out there with the guys.
Yeah, you make that first start, and you've also got a club on your hand. What challenges has that prevented you in terms of playing through that? And what does it say about you that even while playing through pain, some sort of injury, you're still able to go out there and contribute for this team?
Well, I mean, nobody would necessarily just want to play with the club on, and it's not something that people would want to do. But I feel like I've figured out ways to play with it, and football is a game of you're gonna be hurt. You're not gonna be feeling 100% all the time. So just being able to play through even when something's hurting, like it's part of the game.
Yeah, Kirby also mentioned you're in your third year in the system. What does being in this system so long mean? Like where have you grown the most over these 3 years to where you're at now? You're starting and getting ready to play an SEC team on Saturday.
Well, the biggest thing in our defense is just learning the system, and being here 3 years has given me time to kind of learn how our system is, what systematically what we do. So just being around it for 3 years and being around many guys has played in this system as well. It's just kind of I've just been able to absorb as much as I can, and which leads me to my third year. Feel like I know a little bit more than I did coming in.
What stands out to you about this Tennessee offense and just what you guys, especially you guys in the secondary, are going to be up against?
Well, I mean, from what I've seen, they're very explosive, and they have some very good athletes on their team. So they have a really good offense. I'm excited.
What are some things that y'all as a defense have to do to prepare for that explosiveness?
Well, the main thing is just staying to our system, and just playing our true defense, and just playing ourselves, playing our best ball.
Yeah, I guess 2 parts. One, have you thought about how cool it would be to come up with an interception while wearing a club on your hand? And two is there's all the talk about fire, passion, energy. How much does that play into it? Of hey, I've got this injury, I could sit out, but I'm gonna take the field no matter what I've got to do to get there.
Well, the first part, of course, it'll be crazy to catch a pick with the club on. That's something I would love to happen. Could you repeat that second question?
There's all the talk about fire, passion, and energy. How much for you is it of hey, I've got this injury, I could sit out, but I'm going to do whatever it takes to get on the field, even if it means wearing a club?
Well, I mean, so it all just goes back to I love football, and if there's a way I can play, whether it's something dealing with an injury, and they're gonna let me play, I'm more an advocate of playing, because I just love the game and I want to play as much as possible. And I mean, really, fire, passion, energy is just really love for the game. If you got love for the game, you're gonna want to play when you're hurt, even when you don't feel like it. So I feel like that kind of goes into really just loving the game and having passion for it.
Yeah, both Tennessee and Georgia made the playoff last year. Y'all's first SEC game this year. Is there a bit extra intensity this week opening up against SEC play against these guys?
Well, of course, SEC atmosphere is probably one of the craziest things of college football. So, of course, intensity is going to be higher, because it's going to be higher. It's going to be an intense game playing in the SEC, and it's kind of getting in that mindset where now it's like these SEC games, it's like they get intense, and you got to be on your A game every single week.
Kirby was talking earlier about how there will be a lot of moments in this game on Saturday, and you guys might lose some, but you got to kind of focus on the next one. For you, I know you're new as a starter, but as kind of an older guy who's been around the program, what kind of conversations have you guys been having with some of these younger players that you're kind of taking out on the road the first time, and that next play mentality?
Well, honestly, next play mentality is something really everybody has to learn. So I mean, everybody kind of can struggle with it. But as far as the new guys and younger guys, it's just telling those guys to just like we say, play the next play, and things might happen over the course of the game that might not go your way, and you can't control what happened in the past. All you can focus on is what's next, and I mean that's what we try to tell everybody. I tell myself that too, because young or old, being able to play the next play, everybody has to be able to do that. So, yeah.
Kyron, since you got into this program, what would you say is for you the biggest area of growth during your tenure here?
Really, I would say everything. Coming in, I was a running back, so really had to learn how to play defense, and really in every aspect, I feel like I've grown in. Communication, playing our system, being able to play at the safety spot, and do the many things that is required. I feel like I've grown in every aspect there. So
When Rue was in here talking about the intensity being ramped up at practice, just what was the energy like today at practice, knowing that the first SEC game is just a few days away?
It was intense, because you can kind of feel the intensity on both sides of the ball. Offense is coming with juice. We're coming with juice to create a, atmosphere that like we gotta bring our A game in. I feel like our team had a great mindset going into practice, and I feel like we're just trying to execute at a high level, both offense and defense. And when that collides, it's just intensity.
I'm sure we asked you this before last time we started. Obviously, you were an offensive guy in high school. Georgia wanted to make you a defensive player. What do you recall about those initial conversations with coaches about their plans for you? And now that you earned a starting job, is that kind of personal justification on your part? Hey, I made the right decision here.
Well, when I go into making a decision, I always try to really think things through, and that's what I did coming out of high school, and really just everything I heard through our conversations with Coach Mark and Schumann and defensive coaches. I really just kind of really thought through and just wanted to make a decision, and I feel like I was in the right headspace and got to the point where I made a decision. And once I made the decision, I stuck with it, and I try not to live my life with regrets, because I feel like that's not good for anybody. So once I kind of made a decision, it's like I knew that was going to be the right decision. And I'm a firm believer in Jesus Christ, and I believe that God puts you in places where He wants you to be, and I just kind of trusted that, and I just knew it was all gonna work out at the end. That's what I told myself, and as I'm still growing and still just trying to strive to be great, it's just I just trust in God and believe that things will work out.
Kyron, going off that, you've been here for 3 years. You came in as a running back. You're now starting safety. Was there ever a moment where you thought, hey, maybe I should go hit the portal, go play earlier somewhere else?
I try not to think like that. I feel like you got to be where your feet are, and I feel like that's just what I've been trying to do, is be where my feet are and just focus on how can I get better versus like looking at all the excess stuff. 'Cause I feel like that's really a distraction. So for me, it was just staying focused on what was asked of me and what I needed to do versus looking at all the extra stuff and all that. So I mean, just staying focused and just trying to keep the main thing. So that's what I try to do.
Going back to when you first got here, having played running back, who were some of your teammates that you feel like helped you in that transition of learning how to play defensive back and helping you get to where you are now?
Well, I mean, ultimately, my freshman year, I came in, there are guys like Jerron Bullard, Tyke Smith especially, and Malachi, Dan Jackson. So really coming in, and that's a lot of experience in play coming in as a freshman. So just kind of learning how those guys do things and how they go about things, and really I'm just trying to strive to be great, and I see them do great things on the field. So ultimately I just tried to take in as much as I could from those guys, because they're all really good players that came out of here. So and I want to be a great player to come out here, so I just try to see what they do, and I feel like I kind of learned some of their habits and everything. So I feel like that was kind of what I tried to do my freshman year.
Time for a final question.
Obviously, the run defense was kind of a point of emphasis for you guys throughout a lot of the offseason. I think we often talk about run defense in the front seven, but you guys in the secondary and safety specifically, like how much pride do you take in filling run lanes, and how important do you think
mean, well, in general, if you can't stop the run, you can't win. So that's kind of the mindset we have as a defense. And as a secondary, we're just a part of the defense as the front guys up. So it's like we just got to do our job in the run game, and where we have to fill, we got to fill, and where we got to be deep, we got to be deep. So it's just really, I take pride in my job and what I have to do, which requires stopping the run, because I feel like that's kind of the main thing, especially playing in the SEC. You got to be able to stop the run. So that's why we all take pride in it as a secondary, corner, safeties, everybody on the field, because it has to be a priority, because that's what's asked of us, and I feel like we just try to do that to the best of our abilities every week, and I feel like that's just our goal: be able to stop the run and then also defend the pass. So.
Kyron, thank you.
Thanks, Kyron.
Kyron.